Now we know this is corn, but what's this and this? So welcome back to the channel. One of the cool things that I've always thought that is just neat about America is the vast amount of history that we don't know. We know some, but we definitely don't know a lot. And one of the things that's always intrigued me is cliff dwellings and pueblitos. Why are they building them on cliff edges, and why did they build them up on tops of rocks? Were they protecting themselves from something? Was something after them? What are the truths about the Anasazi? Well, our mission today is to try to figure some of that out. Oh, what's that? I think that's my cash back from Upside. So if you guys are budget-minded like me, then you probably want to know about the Upside app, because it's an easy way to get cash back, yes, real cash, back into your bank account. And Upside is a completely free app that you can download for anybody that needs to get gas, groceries, or go to a restaurant, which I feel like those are things that we all do all the time anyway. And with over 100,000 of them to choose from, it's the easiest way to get cash back for what you're already gonna purchase. And Upside earns people up to 3 times more than any other app out there. And it's super easy to do because it's free to download. You just go to your app store, you download the app, you can put in the code COLT, or you can use this QR code on my head, which will earn you 25 cents a gallon off your first tank of gas. And it's super easy to use. I just pull up the app in the area I'm in, pick a gas station, fuel up, pay for the fuel, take a picture of my receipt, and start making money back. I don't know about you guys, but I feel like there's no downside to Upside. Download the app today, it's free. And it would be cool if they sent me my money through a drone. I've always been intrigued with US history, but one of the things that we don't really learn a lot about is true American history before this country was actually established as the United States. As I was searching on Google Earth, I found a few structures that really caught my eye. And why did the people that lived here build their structures in a certain way, like they were guarding themselves from something else? Now, most of us believe at least there was giants that walked this earth, whether it was Bigfoot or you know the story in the Bible of David and Goliath. A lot of people don't know that he actually had brothers, Goliath did. Or you could talk about the giant of Kandahar. There's giant bones that they've found up by the Great Lakes that might have been part of the Viking era, but there's also giants in Native American beliefs as well. My goal here isn't to create a statement, it's just to look at research and let you guys decide for yourself. For this video, I've decided not to share locations, but if you go out and search yourself, you can probably find some things. So we're cruising out in Gould Canyon. It's in northern New Mexico. And normally I have Shanna with me, but Shanna is actually with our daughter, and I have my son and his girlfriend here. You guys remember Ian? Ian's helped me build a lot of stuff on the channel. This is his girlfriend, Claire. We're gonna go see what we can find. And we're in the 30-day Comanche, cruising through the New Mexico desert. So we're at our first pueblito, and one of the things that brain boggles me is, why did they build it on this rock? Now, obviously for defense reasons, you know, it's going to be hard to attack anywhere around this, but you could have just easily just built it right here and not had an issue.
Oh, yeah.
This is the only access in and out of this entire thing. And to give context to how high up it is, stand right there, Ian. Ian is 6'7". they would just stab you in the head. The interesting thing is the Puebloan people were actually like traders. They weren't fighters. They didn't want to fight. They were a peaceful people. So if this was built by peaceful people, why did they feel the need to build it so high up there? I mean, you got a great vantage point to see other things, but you could have just had it on the hillside and still seen the same stuff. Why have such limited access to it? Hopefully we'll be able to uncover that. What do you guys think?
Pretty neat.
There's more than just this Pueblito out here too. There's quite a few that are up here on rocks, like they're trying to defend themselves from something. All that. Alrighty. Look at this view. So according to Chief Wally, Navajo tradition is when they came out here, there was actually people of this land already. I think the Navajo called themselves the Ne. The Ne actually became part of the cliff dwellers. Like, what were they blocking themselves off from here? Look at all the fingerprints. And the Pueblo people that lived on the Pueblos, they actually traded with each other. What's interesting is a lot of people think that the cliff dwellings were built by the Anasazi. According to Navajo history, the Anasazi, or the Ana, they actually came up here from the south. Look at that. So cool. And it's just right here on the edge. That isn't a bad view. The Anasazi, or the Ana, they were actually not traders. They came up from the south, and they were known for actually trying to make the Pueblo people their slaves. They were into sacrifice and cannibalism, according to what Chief Wally says. Ooh, that's tight. Tight fit. So which in turn forced the Ne to actually defend their homes. So it's not that they weren't fighters, they just had no desire to fight. They were peaceful people. They traded with the Pueblo people, and then the Ana came in with their colored birds and their pearls, and basically were kind of like Vikings of this era, which is part of the reason why I think they built this shaft house, because not only is this hard to get to, I mean, you can see where the kids are here, and this entire canyon and all these dwellings up on the ledge. I mean, you can see how much higher the ledge is even just to get to these. And this is not an easy spot to get to. Then they built this shaft that goes up into another tight section of stuff. And this is the only way up there, is through this nice tight shaft that goes up into these other rooms of this 14-room construction. And this would be the only way to like get in and out. So if you were trying to defend your home or protect yourself, I mean, for peaceful people, I don't know how else you would do that. So did they construct these cliff dwellings to protect themselves from the Ana? I don't know. Historians estimate this to be built right around the 1700s, which actually makes this structure ridiculously old. I mean, look at that. Looks like it's holding this whole rock up, but then it's also kind of protecting you so you don't slide off as you go through there into the next set of rooms. You can see here where these rocks have collapsed, and it would have been probably another entry like that just to get from here to there. According to Chief Wally, they actually had trade routes, And once the Ana found the trade routes, they took over the trade routes and they started taking the Pueblo people hostage. And one of the things that I find really interesting is that in their history, they talk about the Anasazi being cannibals and having colorful birds and pearls for trade and being fighters. And not only that, but actually told the Navajo people that they were better than their gods and that they should worship them. Saying things like they could take the heart out of a dog and put it in another dog and keep it alive. It kind of makes you wonder where the Mayans went to. But the real question is, if they were already cliff dwellers before the Ana came in, then what were they hiding from? What were they protecting themselves from? Here you can see the shaft with the upper rooms. A lot of these holes, like the ones up top, kind of aim straight, but a lot of these holes are actually aimed right down onto this, which I can't believe were used to just for window gazing when they're at like your knee level, aimed straight down. Ooh, it's gonna be tough. Alright. Soda time.
Soda time.
Soda time.
Soda time.
Agua time. Soda time. All right.
Soda time. Cheers.
Feel like a soda pusher now. All right. So we drove up to a new spot here. And this spot's kind of interesting. I think you're gonna like this. Looks like people worshiping that. So check this out. According to my research, they believe this is a Navajo deity. But they don't know who this is. Now we know this is corn, but what's this and this? Now you can tell that's probably sheep, that's bear. And they think these are Spanish conquistadors, but look at that. So another bit of interesting history is the red-haired giant. And look at the size of him to the size of them. According to the Navajo stories, there were two cousins that were sent out on a journey to acquire weapons to destroy the red-haired giant.
The red-haired giant, or the existence of tall, large people. Yes, there were giants in the land and in the country, but they are just people. We have to understand that the symbolism in that are of a higher learning that our people tell. So it is that we have to understand things on a spiritual level.
Keep saying these like hourglass things.
Yeah.
Well, this is like corn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
Donkey, maybe.
I think this is
possible.
like a river, and maybe these are crops or something.
yeah,
Spanish horseman, question mark.
yeah. Question mark. They're not sure. They just think that those are Spanish horsemen.
Yeah.
But what's that?
Like devil.
Devil.
Eyes. Look at that too. This has got
The
one.
devil.
Yeah, there's one down here. There's one here. There's one here. Slowly makes you wonder, did they build them for giants? It doesn't make sense to make it hard for yourself to get water and food and to just get to your house unless you're trying to protect yourself from something. And a lot of this is just really interesting history for me because I think that, you know, we live here in America and we have the books and we know the history as far as getting here and the country being created as America. But, you know, there's so much history before that that I think that it's worth looking into. And with the recent passing of Desert Drifter, I think there needs to be a continued passing of this history. So we need to do our due diligence and find the history and find the areas. I really do hope that his wife and family continues it on. And if you guys haven't seen that channel, you should probably check it out because it's pretty cool, the stuff that he's found up to this point. Little lizard. All right, so one of the things that you guys love that Shanna always does is tells a dad joke. I think we're gonna have to put this one on Claire. So Claire, give us your best dad joke.
All right, what do you call a cow with no legs?
I don't know what.
Ground beef.
I like it. Think she's a keeper, Ian. All right, we made it back. What'd you guys think?
It was really sweet.
Sick.
Yeah, especially the.
And it even looks like my brother's here.
Surprise! I wanted to surprise Colt for his birthday, and for his birthday, I really want to get to 100,000 subscribers. So if you love our videos, please make sure you've subscribed to the channel, and make sure you say happy birthday in the comments, and let's all surprise him. Thank you so